a rainy day.
It is a rainy day. Welcome, everybody.
But you don't know it's raining because when you're listening to this, it might not even be raining.
It's going to be a beautiful day.
It's going to be a beautiful day.
On Monday, for sure.
Absolutely. And hopefully both our teams won. I think I'm on a bye week. I don't know.
God bless. Browns play the Ravens, so.
Oh, yeah. You're not.
It's going to be a toughie.
Yeah. Well, welcome to Good Grief. We're here.
Yeah.
This episode, we decided to do like signs that our like loved ones send to us from above.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a cute one.
You've had some really good signs, so recently.
And I feel like people do in general, like other people do as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's really cool.
This will be a fun one to do.
Yes. Episode 8.
Okay, so we need to talk about what we were just doing. Oh. We had to stop it because we have to go record.
Yeah, this almost didn't happen.
Okay, so we started watching Naked Attraction on HBO. Well, actually, I watched an episode of it.
I would never watch that kind of smut, Mom.
Okay.
Just so you know. Okay.
Yeah. Whoopsies.
You raised a good daughter.
Yep. So Kristen was like this the whole time. Like, I can't look. I'm not allowed. So it's literally just a dating show. It's on HBO Max, Naked Attraction. It's a British show. And
it's always a British show.
Yeah. It's one person. So like a female. And sometimes like they could be like bi, straight, gay, whatever. So like there could be a mixture of men and women up there. Mm-hmm. But it's literally a dating show and everyone is naked. You get like 6 people and they're all naked. And you see it all.
You see it all. It's not like Naked and Afraid, that show on whatever station that like blurs everything out.
Yes.
You see it all. And that's how they choose their partner. Mm-hmm. Solely based off of what you look like. And they start from the bottom and then they go up.
Yeah, they do like bottom half, like below like the belly button. Then they do like abs and chest to the shoulders.
Yeah.
And then
face at the end.
And then face at the end. And then at the end, when she gets down to 2 or they get down to 2, whoever it may be, they have to be naked themselves. So they're naked in front of their 2 people that are naked. And it's very awkward, but the host, it's just British humor. So it's kind of cringy to us.
It's not. And like, if it were an American show, it would just be like all silence. Like the contestants would be like,
yes,
you know what I mean? But
gross.
The British contestants are like, oh, he kind of looks like my dad. It's like,
no, you must be.
Don't say that.
You must be eliminated.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they like show them like, so they get eliminated. Mm-hmm. It shows them like naked and then it like spins around and they have clothes on. So you can see like what they look like clothed. And some were like, looked better naked than clothed. We were like, oh,
yeah.
He looked like he was going to like a skateboard convention. Do you remember that Tony Hawk looking guy?
Yeah.
I was like, he was like.
The other guy looked like he was going to a rave. I was like, oh.
Yeah, we were like, oh, he's cute. Ugh.
Ew.
We're like, you look better naked.
Yeah. Go back.
So, recommend if you just don't watch it with children around, please.
Don't watch it. Don't watch it unless you want a good laugh.
Exactly. But yeah, so that was our morning before
cheers.
Or afternoon,
cheers
I guess, before. Yeah, cheers.
Where's
Surfside.
Cheers. Can't believe we watched that.
Mm-hmm.
And in the morning.
Yeah. Well,
it seems like a late night kind of show. You know what I mean?
Listen, if we had it on late at night, we would have to close our blinds.
Yeah.
Because our TV looks out.
Jamie would be like, what are you guys
You guys
watching?
are watching something that looks very bad.
Yeah.
But can you open your blinds more? Because I'm invested now.
I'm interested.
Is she going to choose the green guy?
Yeah. No, she's not.
No, definitely not.
Choose the green guy.
No, she is not. Okay, so let's talk about, we have, well, I was going to say, do you want to do the birthday first?
Oh.
Crew's birthday.
Yeah, it's coming up.
So this is Monday, and Crew's birthday party is Sunday. And let's talk about the invitation. Kristen sent an invitation, and the party is 3 to 4 p.m.
4:30 to 5:30.
4:30 to 5:30. That's it. Just an hour.
He's one, guys. He's one. He has one-year-old friend who he's like not even that interested in. Because Dylan Kirshner, his friend, shout out Laura and Kevin Kirshner and Dylan. He's walking around. He's like going to be 18 months old soon. So like they're on totally different levels. So I'm like, listen, you guys come over. I'm going to feed you some pizza. You can watch him smash a cake and then you guys can go.
Okay.
Like it doesn't need to be.
It's not even about your kid. It's about the adults at that point.
It is.
You made it a year, especially with Crew. It's a big year.
It's a
you
big
got,
year.
especially after like August, like this is going to be a blowout.
Yeah. It's going to be a blowout. And I know that everyone is going to stay longer than an hour.
You were like, you can stay later. And I was like, okay, definitely.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even read the invite, like the ending time until you said like, it's not an hour. And I'm like, you put an end time on there?
I know. And the funny thing is the theme that I chose was first year down. And my sister and my nephew Bodhi just turned 3 in October. And my sister had third year down. We didn't even communicate that together.
Oh my gosh. Like some sort of like sister ESP.
Yes, I know. We were very connected.
So could she send you all the things? Like, did she have any props from it?
I should have been like, just send me all your stuff, but I had already bought a bunch of stuff on Amazon. But I am excited. It's on football Sunday, and I've got everything ready, so it should be fun. And we have a lot of like neighborhood kids. Like that's the bulk of the people that are coming, like the neighborhood kids. There's like 20 kids.
It's going to be a great time.
So it'll be fun.
What's the food situation?
It's going to be pizza.
Okay.
I'll make special pizzas for us.
Of course. Thank you.
And I'll have special cupcakes for us and Penny. But yeah, it's going to be fun. Pizza and chips.
Easy things.
Easy stuff. Football Sunday stuff.
Things that kids love too.
Yeah. Easy.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, I can't wait. I'll be there. And you said no presents. Of course, I'm going to bring him a little something, but.
No presents. He needs nothing.
So that's what I said for Penny. And you got her the best gift. She got her or Otto picked out the best gift.
I didn't pick it out.
They went to the Philly Zoo and got Swoop, like a bald eagle. But when you're an Eagles fan, that's the eagle. That's Swoop.
Otto was so cute. We went to the gift shop and he saw the eagle and he said, I have to get this for Penny. She loves the Eagles. And I was like, I'm sold.
And go Birds. So Penny takes it to school like at least 2 to 3 times a week.
Aww,
and
that's so sweet.
Yeah, she's obsessed with it. She's like, nobody's going to take this, right? I'm like, no, Pen. Like, your name's on it. Like, just put it in your cubby if you don't want anyone to touch it. All right.
She's protective.
I'm like, okay, yeah. So, love it. Yeah. I won't bring him a gift. Maybe something silly. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay. Just bring him, like, puffs.
Some teethers. Okay,
yeah.
A box of puffs.
Yeah, it's
that
easy.
would be good.
Or you can do diapers if you want to spend some money.
A size 5?
He's in 5 now.
Okay. That's what you should have put on there.
I know. Just buy me diapers.
Yeah, they're getting expensive now that he's bigger. So, good to know.
I was going to say, I'm wearing my Always August sweatshirt, my hoodie, which I love.
And I've been linking them in the YouTube videos. So if you wanted to get
if you guys
a sweatshirt.
And some of the proceeds go to Baby Calm Little Peter. And it's just nice to like represent.
And they're comfy too.
Some loved ones.
Yes. And I love like people seeing, like I've seen, somebody's like sent me a picture that they've seen somebody wearing the shirt. And they're like, can we take a picture of you? And so somebody was like wearing the shirt out in the wild. And I was like, oh my God.
My
so
friend
sweet.
From work, Lisa Purse, was she just sent me a picture the other day of her wearing one of the sweatshirts without the hood.
Yes.
In the maroon color. And I was like, oh my God.
The crew necks.
It makes me want to cry. She looks so good in it.
Yes.
But
it's a nice way to wear.
Shirt.
Yeah. Okay. So this is my shirt. It says Rare on it. What is it? Research, advocate, rally,
educate.
Yeah. So this is actually from Love Quinlan, who is a Brat 1 baby. I like to call him the OG Brat 1 baby because I'm sure there were obviously people before him, but his mom was really the one that kind of joined up he's like the first one that like, if you like search Brat 1, he comes up. Quinlan does.
That's so cool.
So his mom, Lindsay, started.
Hi, Lindsay.
Yes, love Lindsay. We connected. She connected kind of like started a website, and that's where she puts like all the other like Brat 1 babies and talks a little bit about like what Brat 1 is. But she had made this shirt, Rare, and it's so sweet. So I love it.
Yeah.
And it's for obviously a good cause because I know hers goes towards research as well, like part of the proceeds from her website. So I'll make sure to link that too.
That's awesome.
So this is one of her new shirts, and it's so funny. My mom was wearing this the other day.
Oh, okay.
Because she got one. She was wearing it to she went to like give blood, or not give blood, but like had to do blood work or something. And this woman was like, I know what that shirt means. She ended up being 84 years old. I know what that shirt means. And my mom's like, oh, like thinking like, how?
Yeah.
Like, and she goes, you are an advocate for like LGBTQ.
Oh, LGBTQ.
And my mom was like, this is actually for my granddaughter, because she thought it was advocate, like advocate versus advocate.
Oh, gotcha.
You know,
gotcha,
so
okay.
like if you're an advocate, what's the difference again? Wait, which one? I have it in my mind. Like an advocate there's a difference between the two. Advocate and advocate.
Is there?
Advocate. Yeah. Regardless. Don't come at us.
Okay?
There's one that's like, my mom was like, oh no, like I'm an advocate.
I'm an advocate.
Yeah, I'm an advocate for, this is for my granddaughter because she had a rare genetic disorder. And my mom, and she was like, oh wow, yeah. She was like, my daughters have a really rare genetic disorder that my husband actually is his family had, and it's the BRCA1 gene. And I was like, oh my gosh, because BRAT1 is a form of BRCA1,
right,
which is like the breast cancer, like hormone gene. And she said her husband died of pancreatic cancer from the gene. And then her daughters got tested. They carried the BRCA1 gene. So they both have had like double mastectomies and stuff. Wow. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Because like out of all the genes for her to like discuss or talk about, she talked about the one that's like related to BRAT1.
Cool.
Yeah, so it was really interesting when you like wear these type of shirts out in public. And my mom always gets stopped. She must have a friendly face. So she always gets stopped for like different things.
Yeah.
But I get, when I wear like rare, like I have a love someone rare shirt, like sweatshirt, I get stopped all the time. People are like, I love that shirt. That's so cool. And I'm like, if only you knew.
Yeah. You want me to tell you?
So I'll tell you the story.
But also your mom is an advocate and an ally. And she loves LGBTQ plus people.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. She really does, actually.
She's like, no.
Yeah, no. But when she said it, she was just like, yeah, no. Like, yeah, but this is for my granddaughter. Like, I think she was thrown off by it because this old lady, like, is like just be like, I understand that. Like, I'm cool with the people.
Yeah.
Like, I know. Yeah.
Me too.
Exactly. So it was just funny. So that whole kind of like just wearing this shirt. So that's why I decided to wear it today. Obviously for a good cause.
Yes.
But just to like say this is the story of it. So
I love it. That's a great one.
It is a good one. All right, so we made a Angel of the Week like post and like an official submission form.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that before we get into the Angel?
Yeah, so we have a Google Doc now. It's linked in our bio on Instagram. We'll also link it in our YouTube page in the section there, and we can also probably link it here on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. But yeah, it's probably easily accessible on Instagram in our bio. Yeah, so you can fill out a form. There's like a questionnaire if you want to nominate one of your loved ones or your child or your child's child, someone who's passed, for Angel of the Week. So there's information, stuff that you can follow there. All the questions are laid out pretty easily. If you want to submit a photo, you can. We like to put a photo at the end of the YouTube video. Just so we can say their name and tell their stories. Everything will be in your words, how you wrote it. And if we need to cut things down for time, we'll do that. But we're not going to edit anything crazy. So yeah.
Love that. Yeah. So we have a submission and this is somebody that you know personally. And we talked about her on a previous episode, right, Krista? Like briefly about like right before August was born, you were saying like, oh, I can't imagine losing like a child.
That's right. Yeah. She her daughter Lily passed in July and was born in July. And then, I was saying to my husband, like, I couldn't imagine that happening. And then, 1 month later. So yes, this Angel of the Week is Lillian Sonnhalter. She is the daughter of Krista and Josh Sonnhalter. They are really, really good friends of ours. Josh and Keith, my husband, were friends from high school. They get into a lot of trouble together, even now still. They're from the Ohio area, and just thinking about them brings a smile to my face because I love them so dearly. They've known us for a very long time. So yes, this week's Angel of the Week is Lillian Sonnhalter. So I will be reading what Krista has sent me. Josh and I found out we were pregnant in February of 2022. We were over the moon excited about the chance and journey of raising our own child after years of watching our amazing friends raise their own tiny humans. At first, I felt great other than morning sickness and being tired. Our first of many ultrasounds were unbelievably exciting as we couldn't believe we were growing a tiny human of our own. At 20 weeks is where the whirlwind began. We were told she was measuring 3 weeks behind and that I had extremely low amniotic fluid. They also diagnosed me with intrauterine growth restriction at the time. They could see that the placenta was enlarged and growing abnormally. Our doctor said we would most likely give birth at 28 weeks. And we were referred to Akron Children's Hospital, the maternal fetal medicine there, which is a great hospital in Ohio. Her heartbeat was still really strong as ever, and she was wiggling around and seemed happy in the little fluid that my body was giving her. A week later, we found ourselves at the NFM doctor, and we were faced with our next hurdle. After an ultrasound, we were told the amniotic fluid was still extremely low, and Lily was still 3 weeks behind. They told us that they thought that she might have a heart defect, and looked like a case of trisomy 13. Mm-hmm. They told us her survival rate would be only 1 year. We were obviously in shock and almost refused to believe the doctors. We were convinced they must have been mistaken because we just saw her moving around on the screen and her heart continued to beat as strong as ever. Following the news, we were immediately whisked away to the cardiologist for an ultrasound of her heart, and after an hour of waiting in silence, the ultrasound tech had completed everything and found out the best news that there was no heart defect in sight, and her heart was as strong as ever and perfect in every way. They took all of the defects and trisomy 13 off the table, and we were back to just little Lily being little Lily. We knew Lily was going to do things on her own and give us a run for our money, our little Lily bean. At 26 weeks, I went for my weekly appointment, and her heart looked great again. She was moving around in her little pool, but the technician knew something was off. The room was quiet, and the doctor came in to the room and said I had to go straight to the hospital. I was in the early stages of preeclampsia and needed to be seen immediately. After being rushed to the hospital for the night, I was given magnesium and steroids to help Lily's lungs and brain develop for an early grand entrance. So they're like gearing up for a very early entrance. After scare after scare, we never lost hope that we would be 1 in a million and that our precious Lily would defy all odds and be our small, mighty miracle. I was sent home and determined to keep her in as long as I could. A week later, what I believed was my water breaking happened at 27 weeks. I was rushed to the hospital once again. They told me everything was perfect, that my water hadn't broke, and sent me home. Later that night, I started having contractions and was going into labor. When we got to the delivery room, there was a calmness even after hearing that she most likely wasn't going to make it. But we couldn't wait to meet her. We talked about names in those few hours because we still wanted to find out what we were having until she was born. She came in true Lily fashion on July 16th, 2021, early in the morning, and to everyone's surprise, she was born alive in her unruptured amniotic sac.
Special kids.
So cool. She let out a small little cry, and the doctor looked at me shocked and said, "Do you want the NICU doctor to come in because she is big enough and moving enough to try to save her?" We, of course, said yes. They started working on her immediately and moved her into another room and then rushed her over to the NICU at the Children's Hospital. She was 13.4 ounces, feisty, wiggling, and full of life. Lily fought for 4 days in the NICU, where ultimately her underdeveloped lungs couldn't keep up. She passed away on July 20th, 2021. In those 4 days, we were able to read to her, tell her about her doggy brothers and sisters, and just love on her before finally being able to hold her just before she passed. And even in the smallest of things we got to know about her, we miss her every day. She was one of a kind and still our tiny miracle, our precious Lily bean. She is a constant reminder that miracles do exist, even when all odds are stacked against you. So that is Lillian Sonnhalter.
I mean, she really defied the odds there.
Yeah, the doctor being shocked that she was.
Yeah, I mean, from saying like she, hindsight, a year would have been better than what the 4 days. But like when they said that was her diagnosis, and then to take that back and be like, we don't see that anymore. Like the odds were so just like she just kept fighting and fighting.
Yeah, and I remember all this going on, and just Krista and Josh were so amazingly humble and calm on the outside during all of this. And Josh would text us updates all the time. And the one thing that always remained was that her heart was, and we always find this with the little ones, but her heart was super, super strong. And that was August too. It was summer. So it's just crazy.
Yep.
It's crazy. And I love you guys so much.
And thank you for sharing that story.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's tough to rewrite. And so thank you once again.
Yes.
So,
All right, let's take a quick break.
Yeah.
Regroup. And we'll come back.
Okay.
Thanks. We're back.
We're back.
Thank you, Surfside.
Thank you, Surfside. Cheers.
Still not sponsored. Awkward.
We won't talk about it.
Not salty. Maybe send us a sign, Surfside.
Yeah.
If you're going to sponsor us, or Surfside, send us a sign.
Send us a sign, please.
Because Kristen said I have to vocally ask.
Yeah, you do.
To have a sign appear.
I know you know us.
Yeah.
I know you're seeing us.
Yeah, I know you guys have liked a little bit of our stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, so let's talk about signs.
Yeah. This is fun.
This is going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
I probably will still cry, but that's just me.
I'm just a sad lady at Wawa.
Oh my gosh. That story, that one gets me.
LOL.
If you listen to our last episode when we put on our Instagram too, but when you went to the Wawa and she texted me that day or the next day and was like, I just found myself crying at the Wawa. I am the sad Wawa lady.
I was pumping gas and I was crying behind my sunglasses and I just started laughing and I was like, oh my God,
You're like, is that kid here?
I know.
Where are you, John? I like that your mother-in-law commented like, don't be the sad lady.
I know. She's so sweet. She's like, I love you. Don't be the sad lady.
Yeah.
I'll try.
Oh my gosh. All right. So I know we've discussed like what our signs are for like the girls, like when we feel close to them.
Yes.
Or what we do.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like having signs from the other side is like a worldly thing. Like people from different cultures, different beliefs, different parts of everywhere, they all believe in some sort of sign from the other side. So that's why I think that like getting a sign from a loved one is really cool. And mine is all obviously a butterfly. But I got that sign in a weird way. And I didn't even know, this is kind of ignorant, but I didn't even know that butterflies are typically associated with someone who's passed. I didn't know that before August. So
I didn't either. I always thought it was like ladybugs.
Yeah.
Meant like, oh, my grandma's here again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I've heard that a million times, but I'd never heard the butterfly one. So I'll tell you why. And I don't know if you know the story, but I'll tell you guys why.
I don't. I think you like hinted about why you chose butterflies.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, I don't know if I know that story.
Yeah. So Keith and I had just arrived home after saying goodbye to August for the last time. And we knew that there were people at our house. My mom was there with Otto. And I think my sister-in-law, Courtney, had showed up at some point that evening. My sister was obviously at the house and my dad was like on his way. And so we were like anxious to go home and just be with Otto and to be with the family and just melt and just let it go. So the garage door was closed. They had all gone in through the front door. So we opened the garage door and I'm walking in through our garage and I walk up to the door and I see this black and blue butterfly just on the door in a closed garage. The garage had been closed for days and days and days.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like looking at it and I was like, is that real? It didn't look real to me. I was like, it's
in a garage that's
it was the most beautiful butterfly. I'd never seen a butterfly like this before. And I was like, is that even real? And I like went to touch it because I was like, I didn't know if I was like imagining things. My head was not in the right space. So I went to touch it. And as I did, it like flew off and away. It like went around my head that way and like out into the garage and left. Gosh. And I was like, And I get chills thinking about it now.
Absolutely. Like, how many times has that happened in anyone's life before?
I was like,
0.
And I like kind of looked around, and Keith is like, "What's going on? Are you okay?" Like, I think he maybe thought I couldn't find the courage to like walk into the house yet. And I was like, there was just this butterfly. It was just sitting on the door, like, and its wings were just like spread open, like I could see it completely. Yeah. It was the weirdest.
Usually butterflies also have their wings closed.
Yeah. It was like laid out perfectly. It was like the strangest thing I'd ever seen. I was like, it was so weird, and I touched it, and it.
He's like, did you lose your mind?
Yeah, and he was like, okay, like he didn't think anything of it. So every time I had seen a butterfly after that, and of course in the month of August, like it's like prime butterfly season, so it was like great to see butterflies everywhere I went, and on my sad walks I'd see them all the time. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love them. And then eventually my mom gifted me, I think I've talked about this before, but she gifted me a butterfly bush, and because she knew I really liked butterflies. Yep. Because of August. So she gifted me this bush, and we planted it in the front yard, and the black and blue butterflies are there now.
The whole family.
And I'm like, where did they come from? I never see them in our neighborhood other than that. Like, they're only on our butterfly bush.
Yeah.
Which is so cool.
It's we usually get like all the friends up there, family members.
Yeah. I'm like, it's just so beautiful. And we usually see like the really pretty orange and yellow ones, like the monarchs. And like, these butterflies are so cool, and they're so special to me. So yeah, that's why her sign is a butterfly, and I see them everywhere. And I don't know if it's that thing of like, you know, you're thinking about it, so like they stand out more. Like I remember when I was pregnant, and I was like, I'd spot a pregnant woman like from across the lawn. Yeah, I'd be like, why? I know you. Yeah, I'm like, why is everybody pregnant? Like, it's just because I'm pregnant, or I don't know. Yeah. So it could be a little bit of both, but I'm just drawn to the butterflies now, and I'll see them in like the weirdest places, and they show up in ways that when I'm sad or I'm feeling down, and I'm really like trying to talk to August, in the next few minutes, I'll see a butterfly randomly. And it's not even like a living butterfly. It could be like someone's tattoo. It could be on a piece of paper. One. I remember one time I was having a really, really bad grief day, and I was like trying to pull myself out of it. And Otto came home from school, and he hands me this paper, and he's like, I colored this for you today, and it's a butterfly. And I was like, what are the odds? Yes. What are the odds
just that I show you?
Yeah, that I
connect through Otto.
Yeah, it's so she ends up like showing me signs in so many different ways, and there's like a couple of songs too that will play, and I'm like, okay, she's listening. But yeah, so butterflies all the time. Like I get them always,
and I feel like it's so hard because I remember in the beginning. And I still like feel this way. It is still the beginning.
Yeah.
But like in the beginning, I would say like to like my therapist, I'd be like, it's the most frustrating part is that I don't know where Summer is in the universe or the realm of like the world. Like I don't know if she can hear me talking to her.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if she's in heaven. Like I don't know if she's spiritually in some other, like I just don't know. And I was like, and that is very frustrating to me because I just wish I knew. And I remember just being like, her saying, you know, my therapist was just like, you know, you're going to have that your whole life, but you need to do like, if you believe that she's coming back as a butterfly or a cardinal, like, absolutely. Like whatever helps you get through that moment, because she is going to show you signs.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, you know, so I try not to fret so much on like because that was really in my head in the beginning, like, I don't know if you're here, like, where are you? Or like, I'm so sorry, like, I don't know where you are in the world. So like, I'm not sure. So I always feel like it was a little awkward in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this seems silly.
Yeah, you're battling terrible, terrible grief right at the forefront there. And then you're also like, you're not here.
Yeah.
This just like, I'm going through something that's very like awful, but like factual, and like factually it doesn't make sense to me that you're like not living, and I'm just like talking to the air. But it's like the grieving and the signs are so universal, and so many people get signs. Like I know people that like pennies, when they find like actual pennies, like that's a sign from their
and like it's one. The year parent was born or something crazy.
Yeah, I heard a story once where this woman was grieving the loss of her father, and it was her wedding day.
Mm.
And she was getting ready, and she obviously he wasn't there to walk her down the aisle, and she was like really, really sad, and she was like kind of like talking to just the air.
Mm-hmm.
And praying a little bit. I think she was praying, and then she went to go put on her shoes to go to the venue, and there was 2 pennies in each shoe. And she was like asked her fiance, like, did you put these pennies in here? Yeah. And he was like, no. And she was like asking her family, and they're like, no, what are you talking about? And she was like, no one knew that pennies, besides my like fiance, no one knew that pennies were like my sign for him. And
that's so wild.
Pennies,
yeah. What a special gift for her to have on like a day that's really around a lot. Obviously marrying a spouse, but like a very father-daughter moment.
And there is a book that my sister-in-law actually gifted me. It's called Signs. It's called something Signs from the Other Side. I can't remember what it is. I'll let you know at some point, or we can post it on the Instagram. But it's really, really cool, and it's a book that you have to like be prepared to read. So
I've heard about this book actually.
Yeah, you have. It's
I think I've seen TikToks on it.
It's a tough read, but it is really interesting to read about signs of others and how people are trying to come through to you. And it is just it's a comforting feeling knowing there are so many out there getting signs. There must be somewhere else where they're waiting for us.
Do you, and we can cut this out if you don't want to, do you want to talk a little bit about the medium or no?
Oh yeah, we can. Crazy. I went to a medium.
Yeah. So one of your gifts from my mom.
Yeah.
On like the 12 months of August gifts, my mom wanted to get Kristen a medium read from like this really popular medium in Delaware.
Yeah.
So Kristen went, and I waited in like the lobby area.
Yeah.
I didn't go in the room. And
because she thought she was reading you.
Yeah, she thought I was reading me because I didn't want to like throw anything off. I try to trick them, which they probably hate and are like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
But I just was like, hey, I think I emailed her because I was like confirming, and I was like, hey, I'm going to give it to my friend Kristen.
Yeah.
She's just suffered some losses in her life. Yeah. So I want to see who can come through.
Yeah, you told her you'll be busy.
Yeah.
I said you'll be busy with this one. Yeah, so my father-in-law came through and was like the most prevalent force there, and he talked about a lot of things that really hit home and were very specific. But yeah, she talked about August a little bit and said some crazy stuff about in a different world, in a different timeline, like August was like your mom, not my mom, like Shannon, my mom, but she was like a mother to me.
And you've always felt something weird like that before, right?
Yes. So
that you never openly said.
Right. She said that she was like a mother to me, a mother figure, or my mom, and she came back to finish something that she needed to do. And she did that, and it might have been to teach me something. It might have been something that she needed to complete, but then she was gone. And it sounds wild. Like it sounds completely nuts. And if you don't believe in that type of thing, like that's okay. And I don't know if I believe that specifically, but when she said it, I was like, that just sounds, it sat well with me, because when August was born, I felt like she wasn't going to be here for a long time. Like once we were in the NICU, I was like, I don't think that this is going to end well because of everything that she was stacked up against. And that thought I'd never like said out loud, because of course I was trying to stay hopeful. I was trying to
optimistic,
be strong for
babies
her,
are strong.
for Keith, for, and you don't want that, but there's like that monster in your head that's like saying, you know, you never know, you know, it's just this terrible thing. But there was something like when her and I were together, August and I, when we were together and it was quiet and we were by ourselves, there was times when I was thinking like, she's trying to tell me that she's not going to stay here for a while. And I think though when the doctors had said, you know, this after the surgery and all the complications, like this is a rough go. I wasn't as surprised as one would be when receiving that news, because there was something inside of me saying, I feel like she had already been trying to tell me that anyway. So when this medium reiterated that, I took that with like, wow, like that actually, and she was like, I'm sorry if you don't believe this sort of thing. And I was like, I don't know if I do, but what I'm receiving it well, what you're saying. So yeah.
That makes sense though. I remember when we got Summer's diagnosis that she had 4 to 5 months. I mean, Doug had his mom was at the hospital. And then my parents were here with Penny. So I was like, all right. So I came in here and I like told him, my aunt was here and she took Penny outside to play. And I like told my parents, and my mom was like, what? And I was like, didn't you know? Like I knew she was going to die, Mom. Like, but at this point I had no idea. And I'm like, I'm not surprised. Like I wasn't surprised because I just felt like she was like, I was thinking like, this is no life for a kid. Like no life for a person to have the life that like she had. And I remember my mom being so shocked. And I just remember being like, oh, I don't feel that shocked.
Yeah. I remember when you called me.
Yeah.
And when
I called you on the way home, you're like the first person I called.
Yeah. And you were like, I just don't feel good about this. And I was like trying to talk you off the ledge. Like, no, it's okay. Like you just have like August's story in your brain. Like I'm thinking like, no, but you had that same instinct as I did, or that she was trying to tell you something.
For sure. So then I have like my story of how like the yellow became like the sign of Summer. And my whole thing was like, when Summer was born and after she passed, I was like, all right, like I need to do everything in my power to like make my house look like Summer is here. Like I want you to walk my house and be like, oh, this is Summer's house as well. So I remember when we were home, we were sitting on the couch with Summer, and then like as she was like passing or whatever, I'm gonna try to say this without like sobbing. But as she was like passing, I just said like, all right, Summer, like, how do you want to come back and show me that you're like here, you know, that you're here? She can't talk.
Yeah.
Because she's a baby. But I just was like, all right, how about you just show me through things that are like yellow? And so that was sort of always just sort of the connection that I had established, and just put it out in the world like, all right, tell me about yellow. So that next day or two, I forget, we had gone to the grocery store. I know you've heard this story before, but it's a good one.
Yeah, I'm already tearing up.
So we had gone to the grocery store, and when we were leaving, Penny wanted to get like those machines that you put like quarters in and something comes out. So I didn't have like any change on me. So I just had like $1 in my pocket. So I was like, all right, let's just go. And I got change from like the customer service desk. So they gave me the 4 quarters. So we go, and one of the machines is like balls, like crazy balls that bounce like 1,000,000 like feet in the sky that you lose so fast. So it was just like the most beautiful balls, like tie-dye and marble and just like splashes and rainbows. Like I didn't see a single solid ball in that whole entire thing. Like this thing was just crazy colors for kids. So we put like the quarter in and turn the knob, and out pops this yellow ball. I'm showing a solid yellow ball. Yeah, this pops out. And so the door opens and it's just this yellow ball, solid. And I'm like,
absolutely crazy.
I was like,
wow.
I know. I'm just like,
what a coincidence.
And I just was like, okay, Summer, like, I see you. Like, you got me. Like, we got this. So I always carry this in my purse. I always have it. And Penny does like to play with it. Like, she knows it's in my purse. And, like, I let her play with it. I don't care. But I'm just always like, but this is my little yellow ball. She knows it's very special.
Yes.
So yeah, so that was sort of like the start of like, all right, like I'm just gonna do everything yellow.
Yeah.
Um,
That's so cool.
but yeah, so that's like my favorite story of all of that stuff. And the other day when Kristen was like, I asked for some signs from August, and we could talk about some of your new signs that you've had. But I was like, all right, I'm gonna like openly ask. So I was like putting Penny's laundry away, and I was like, all right, Summer, like I haven't like felt any signs from you recently, you know. So if you just want to show me, like, I'll try to pay attention and see if I catch it.
Mm-hmm.
So I went downstairs to go switch my laundry. So I did Summer's, did Penny's, went back downstairs, came up the stairs, and Doug had on a YouTube, like, we like to do like a tranquil sound or like Christmas jazz or like, Halloween music or just anything. And he had on this like playlist, and it was like piano music, and it was different scenes of like the world and stuff. So I go downstairs, I come back up, and on the TV is just, we got a new TV. On the TV is just this red cardinal. And it's just like playing the music.
Mm-hmm.
And it was only 10 seconds. Like I tried to get my phone out to record it, and then I ended up having like to go back and rewind it and like send you a video.
Yeah.
But I just was like, all right, so in that moment, do I really think that was Summer? I don't know. But in that moment, it gave me a sense of like relief and peace. Like, all right, like you're listening.
Yeah.
So I thought that was like a weird thing because I openly asked, and I paid attention and acknowledged that, okay, like I saw that, what you just did.
Yes.
And something like we can talk about maybe down the line someday. But like Summer has already, I think, told us like if we do have another child that is alive, like I already think she's told us possibly what like that baby will be. So I already feel like when that time comes, it'll be interesting to see kind of if it all plans out, and I can like share someday maybe.
Yeah. That's so sweet too.
But yeah, so I feel like she's showing us in some unique ways.
Yeah.
Which is really,
that's really cool.
Special, but it all stemmed from you saying,
yeah,
just ask for a sign.
Yeah, I always hear like if you are really missing your loved one and you feel like you haven't been like as connected to them as you have in previous weeks or days, to sit down and in a quiet space and ask out loud and be specific. And I sat down and I said, August, it was like during my tide, and it was right before Halloween. And I was just missing her so much. And I just didn't, all the butterflies have gone at this point from the butterfly bush. And I was just like feeling down. And I said, August, like, just please send me more butterflies. Send me more butterflies, or send me something that I'm going to know. I'm going to know it's you. Like, please, I just, if you could. Love you.
I am your mother. I'm going to tell you what to do, and send me a sign.
Please and thanks. So we always talk, the first thing that like clicked with me was that we had always talked about, we were talking about Crew and his scowl face. And if you don't know my son Crew, he has the world's best mean mug, and he is just always, I mean, and it's not like just like a baby making like a little face. It's like he's scowl. Looking at you and just like,
he's judging you.
No, he's judging you. And we always talk about it. It's so funny. We laugh about it. Like he's like scowling at the lady at the grocery store. He's scowling at the neighbor. Like he's always doing it. And I like kind of like stopped and like thought about it. And I was like, wait a minute. All we talked about in the NICU with August was her furrowed brow.
Yeah, the mean mug.
And her sassy little faces. And I was like, is that her like coming through Crew? And I sat with it, and I was like, I'd never thought about it before, but like they both made very similar faces.
You have
like
this like
that.
connection.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so weird. So that was the first of a couple. I've been seeing butterflies on people everywhere. So I was going to pick up Otto the other day, and this little girl had this big blue and black butterfly on her shirt, like on the side of her shirt. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I noticed it because it was just a black shirt with just a butterfly.
Yeah, like, you can't miss it.
And I was like, oh my gosh. Obviously. And I was like, I love your shirt. And then, I mean, I saw one lady, where was I? I was at Target or something, and I saw a lady with I was at the doctor doing my blood work. And this lady had a butterfly tattoo on her neck.
And you're like, I hate giving blood. That was a sign.
Right. Well, yeah. But I know a lot of people have butterfly tattoos, but the fact that I took notice to it, I was like, oh, okay, because I can't physically see butterflies, like actual butterflies right now. Then I went to Target right after that, and the woman at the cash register, full sleeve butterflies.
Oh.
I was like, what is going on here? I was like, okay, I've been specific. I've been asking. And then later that day, my husband texted me, and he had gotten August's doctor, who had been with knows her inside and out.
And we talked about her on August's story.
Yeah, Dr. Jill Taylor. She worked at Nemours, and she reached out to Keith and said, hey, I just want to let you know, like, I heard that Kristen started a podcast, and I heard from some of the nurses there, and I just want to let you know that I think about your family often, and I hope you guys are doing well. And I was like, we haven't heard from her in a long time. Of course, why would we? You know what I mean?
Yeah. She was probably nervous to reach out too.
Yes. And so we sent her back pictures of Otto and crew. And she said, that just made my day.
Oh,
it makes me
sweet.
so happy. So, yeah, it's like small things, but big things. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when I ask for signs, I'll get like some mail, like from Nemours. Mm-hmm. That's for August, or for the parents of August. So yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, I think if you stop to look, you can sometimes notice them.
Yes, for sure.
So, all right, let's take a break. We'll come back, read the answer to our question from Instagram.
Hear about your signs.
Yes, and then we'll wrap up.
Cool. Sounds good.
Cool.
Welcome.
Cheers.
Cheers again. Hope you all are enjoying. And thank you for all your submissions to our question.
Yep. And our question was, how does your loved one who's passed show you signs? And we had so many answers. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
I think it was our most popular question, probably.
Yeah. I think so.
And it just goes to show that we all, and it was a lot of people from different walks of our friendship and how we know each other. It was really interesting to see.
Super universal.
For sure.
And keep answering our questions because we love it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So we got ladybugs.
Oh, and we were talking about ladybugs.
Ladybugs, yeah.
Why do we, like, ladybugs are just so, like, you can't kill a ladybug.
No, oh my gosh. No. It's just, even Otto knows that. Like, he'll be like, a spider, and he'll like stomp on it. But when he sees a ladybug, he's like, Mom, there's a ladybug. Will you put it outside? I'm like, of course.
Yes. I feel like they're always in my bedroom or in the bedrooms, like on a window.
Yeah.
Are they like trying to get out? Like, how do they get in?
No one knows.
They just show up.
They're just adorable.
They are cute.
Thanks, ladybugs.
Yeah, love your ladybugs. Yeah.
So ladybugs, this person said heart rocks, like hearts shaped like rocks.
Oh,
or hearts shaped like rocks.
Yes.
Rocks shaped like hearts.
I know what you meant. And also that's a thing, like, where you have to be like visually, like looking for that. Yeah. And when you find one, it just has to melt your heart.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I see you.
Cardinals was really big.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I have a cardinal story.
Oh, good.
We have so many cardinals in the backyard.
Oh my gosh, I have a cardinal story too. Okay, go.
So my cardinal story, we have so many cardinals in the backyard. Yeah. Like, they're just always there. There's trees and there's wood, like lots of wood out there. So anyways, this is my mom's story, actually. And my mom, right after Summer died, my mom, she lives in a townhome. She had a cardinal pecking, not flying, pecking at her door, like her actual like storm door. And then her window right in their family room, trying to get in, like pecking. So my mom for a while was like, right when it happened, was like, okay, like, oh my gosh, like, you know, it's a sign and that Summer, you know, I see. And then after a while, this like cardinal was like taking a residency, like outside. It was just like always there.
I love it.
So much that she like put like window clings on her front storm door. Cause she was like, I don't know if he thinks he's trying to get in. Like, what is he doing? So my mom has these like window clings. And then eventually another cardinal showed up. Like, there was like cardinal friends, like other people. So my mom always like talks about the cardinals. And I mean, like I said, we see cardinals a lot. If I like look for one might fly. Or like, hey, Summer, show me you're here. And I saw a cardinal one time like swoop by me and sit on a tree and stare. And Doug was watching me. And he's like, I saw you looking at that cardinal out there. I was like, Doug, it just like Luca just stopped and stared at me, and I said, I can't see you, come closer. And it flew to the tree closer, and I could see it.
Yeah.
So when you have those moments.
Yeah. That's like when I see butterflies on the beach. Who sees butterflies on the beach?
That's, yeah.
But we always do now.
I was going to say, but they're always like, oh, there's a butterfly.
I'm like, where did this butterfly? It's like flapping so hard, trying to like
get
stay
away
in the wind. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, August is here at the beach with us.
There's a butterfly. And then do you remember at the walk?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, we were at the walk, and I saw a butterfly. I don't know if it was a butterfly. I don't know what it was, but it was like bigger. And it was on a stroller, and I had a feeling it was Kristen's stroller. So I like snapped a picture of it.
Yeah.
And I showed her. I was like, is that your stroller? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, look at this. There's a butterfly on it.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh my gosh. And it was at August's, on her birthday.
Yeah, we do a race for August Grace.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I was like so nervous. I remember I was like, I gave you a big hug, and I was like, I'm so nervous. Like I'm full of anxiety. And it was like a really nice little hello from her. And there was butterflies everywhere that day.
Yeah, we did a butterfly release.
Yeah, my neighbor Tara, she's such a good friend. She got all these butterflies to do a butterfly release with all the kids, and oh, it was just so cool.
Yeah.
And then they all, like, a lot of them migrated to my butterfly bush. So
you had extras.
They like stayed at my house. It was really cool.
Welcome.
Yeah, but cardinals I know is a big one for a lot of people. My mother-in-law, a cardinal is like a big sign for her from my father-in-law, Mike, and so like that's super special to us. And then I know my mom, a cardinal is a sign from her best friend Terry, who's passed. So they have like awesome stories of cardinals as well. But my story of a cardinal was I was going to get my hair done, and I was sitting in the car. I was like, I had some time. I was waiting, putzing around on my phone, and I was like actually thinking about, we call him Big Mike, who's my father-in-law. And for some reason I was thinking about him, and I was like, oh, I miss that guy. I'm like getting ready to get out of the car, and I hear this tap, 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 and I'm like, what is that? I'm like, is it hailing? Like, what's going on? And I look back, and there is a cardinal literally tapping at the window, my back windshield, like trying to like get into the car. Yeah. And I was there for so long. I turned around, I got a video of it, and I sent it to the family, and I was like, this is insane. I was like, this is a sign. Like, so that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I love those stories.
I love it. Yes. I love it. Keith's sign for his dad is an eagle. Oh. And we used to see, there is an eagle that like flies like through our backyard every now and then. It's very special to see it. Jeez. And there was a Browns game last year, or was it the year before? And we were playing the Steelers, and Keith was like, man, like my dad would have been like really excited for this game today. Like, you know, I wish he was here, blah, blah, whatever. And we look outside, and I'm like, oh my God, it landed in one of our trees outside.
An eagle?
An eagle.
Oh my gosh.
An eagle. And was just like majestic as hell, just like standing there, like sitting there. Like, we were shocked.
They are really
and
pretty.
They're beautiful. And he was like, what the heck? I've never seen this eagle before.
Yes.
And now we'll see it every now and then. It'll come around. That game, the Browns beat the Steelers by like, and he's going to kill me for not knowing the stats, but they like killed the Steelers, which never happens. And it was like an insane game. We had like over 30 points like before the half. And I was like, this is insane. I was like, Big Mike's here today. So an eagle is a sign for him.
Cool.
I know a lot of people that say deer. And not just like a random deer, like deer that are like in your yard, like a random deer that will come and like be in your yard, or like in a field. Just like a standalone deer is a sign. A lot of people said music of like different genres. Someone said reggae music. Other people said just like certain songs. Blue jays is also another one. We got a couple of people that said blue jays, which is really cool. Rainbows, of course. Yes. Love rainbows, especially if it's like a rainbow baby. August was my rainbow baby. I know summer was your rainbow baby. So rainbows are really special too. A lot of people said butterflies. We got like certain numbers, like a combination of numbers, like 444, like someone was born at 444, or 10/11 is my birthday. And one of the people that follows us, her son was born on 10/11 as well. So like she sees 10/11 a lot. So that reminds her of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then smells, different sorts of smells.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where you need to tell the story.
Oh, yes. So my mom was here yesterday because she had come over and she had saw Penny and we were talking and she was telling me about her signs. And I was like, can you submit it on the Instagram? And she's like, I thought I could just tell you. And I was like, okay, hope I remember. But she was saying, because she lives in the house that like my grandma lived there before she had to go into like assisted living and stuff. So my mom lives like in the house, and my grandma lived there for a long time. And chain smoked. I mean, my grandma smoked all the time, like up until she swore that was like what was keeping her alive at the end, like getting up and getting in her wheelchair and going outside to smoke.
Yeah.
At the assisted living place. So, anyways, my mom said like yesterday about the cardinal, and then she said, I sometimes just randomly like smell her, like smell, because my grandma, like I said, smoked inside. And she's like, I sometimes just smell smoke randomly. Like it's just a very like, sense can just bring you back. And I was like,
it's just a distinct smell.
For sure. Yeah. And like that musty, like even like sometimes when I smell coffee, I think of her, like the coffee with cigarette. Because sometimes coffee does smell like cigarettes to me. I don't know why, like burnt coffee or something, I guess. Maybe.
It's a great combo, I hear.
Yeah. Just another Thursday night.
Yeah, right.
Cigarettes and coffee. So then she said that she can smell her. So then, ironically, my cousin had answered the question on our Instagram and said, I know this is going to sound weird, but sometimes I feel like I can smell like my grandmother from like her cigarettes and like musty cigarette smell. Like I sometimes feel like I could smell that. So when Kristen read that to me, I was like, oh my God, my mom said that same exact thing.
Yeah.
And they're both talking about the same woman. So my mom's mom and then my cousin's grandmother. So our grandmother.
So, hello.
Yes.
Just a little hello from the other side.
Yeah.
Hello from the... Sorry.
Just a little secondhand smoke.
Yeah.
From above.
It might be third hand at this point.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like in the carpet at this point.
It's fine. It's fine. That's so cool.
I do think so briefly when you just like touched upon it.
What?
We have to talk about that last sign that you just said that you kind of like grazed over, but we can talk about the next episode. The 10-11.
Oh.
So when you were asking August for a sign and then we got that Instagram request. Or we got an Instagram. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Duh. That's a whole...
And I think we're going to highlight next Angel of the Week.
Yeah.
This baby Maddox.
Yes.
But...
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler. Yeah. Oops, sorry. But it'll keep you on your toes.
Yeah, I do have a story about that too.
But yeah, so Kristen asked for the sign and this baby who had reached out.
So yeah, it was literally in the same like couple hours. You were like, did you see who just requested, like followed us?
Yeah.
And I was on our Good Grief podcast Instagram, and I was like, I saw it briefly, but I wasn't sure what she was talking about, and I looked at her page, and she is a mother who had a son, Maddox, who was born with a congenital diaphragmatic hernia, and she had butterflies all over her Instagram page too. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And I haven't like met a lot of CDH moms, or I'm not like a part of like a group like you are with the Brat One group. So when I see a CDH mom or see a story about it, it just like, it's very like rare to me. So the fact that she had like requested to follow us or whatever, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so wild with the butterflies everywhere. It was like definitely a sign.
And then we saw what day he was born.
And it was on my birthday.
And it was on Kristen's birthday.
Yeah.
So just a weird.
So we were meant to be connected.
Yeah. So we'll talk more about that next week, I guess.
Yeah.
Just a little spoiler. But that was a cool sign that I thought.
Yeah.
So
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for listening. We'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
Appreciate everyone who responded back and sent us your sign. So just keep an eye out. And I'm interested to see if you do end up like.
Yeah. Remember to say it out loud and be specific. And hopefully your loved one will come through. And it might not be like right away, but it is, you'll know it when you see it.
Yeah. So. And continue to share stories with us. We love it. So
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for listening.
Thanks. Love you. Love. And love you guys. Sending love to you all. Hope you're all doing well.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye.
See ya.